Tonight, we want to get you all ready for the weather impact tomorrow. Right now, we're enjoying a clear, calm night in Indianapolis, but tomorrow, snow returns, and it is going to get a lot colder. Thanks for inviting us in. It's 11 o'clock. Angela's here to time this out. So we've got a combination of flurries tomorrow and colder weather that could really cause a lot of problems. Right?
Yes, we saw it last week a couple of times. We get that thin layer of snow and it causes slick spots on area roadways. Timing is going to be tricky tomorrow as well because it does arrive during the afternoon and evening commute. Now, we're not expecting a lot of snow, coating up to an inch maybe in a few places, but it will be enough for some slick roads tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. That's the when. The impact, the locally heavier bursts of snow will lead to those slick roads. What you can do is monitor the forecast and be prepared for some slow travel later in the day tomorrow. Temperatures right now in the upper 20s and low 30s, quite a bit colder from 24 hours ago. Most of us down 10 to 15 degrees. And speaking of cold, mid 20s to start. Snow showers developing tomorrow afternoon. Highs in the low 30s.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. And of course, you can check in with our weather team anytime using our WTHR weather app. That gives you the easy access to our interactive radar, the current conditions, and of course, our important weather blog. It's a free download and you can find it in the App Store. Right now, police are searching for the gunman who was involved in a shooting not far from downtown Indianapolis. Tonight, police are telling 13 News they believe two men got into a fight that escalated to gunfire around 8 o'clock tonight. The man injured is said to be stable right now. All of this unfolding inside of an apartment building near Indiana Avenue and St. Clair. Now, as investigators search for a suspect, they're hoping witnesses will come forward.
We do always need the public's help. Solve these cases many times. They are solved by the public's help. So we appreciate any help that you could give us if you know anything.
Police tonight tell us they believe this was an isolated incident and there is no known threat to the public. Tonight at 11, an Indianapolis man is accused of soliciting a 12-year-old girl using Facebook Marketplace. Now, according to the court records, this 36-year-old has a warrant out for his arrest. Our Chase Howell has been sifting through the court documents this evening. Chase, how did they actually connect on Facebook Marketplace?
Scott, according to court documents, she was selling her fish tank, and that's how the two began chatting. A place for buyers and sellers turned out to be more than a family bargained for after a man began messaging a 12-year-old girl.
What is scary is just how fast the communication moves between the child and the offender, from something innocent to something much more sinister.
Christina Karabov is a senior attorney for Zero Abuse Project, an organization dedicated to protecting children from abuse and sexual assault. Karabov says she's never had a case where a person lured a child using Facebook Marketplace.
Offenders will use any means to get to a child, and it seems that pretty quickly in this communication, this individual found out that the person he was talking to was a child.
According to the court documents, 36-year-old Tyree Morris and the girl spoke for more than a week. First, police say it started on Facebook Marketplace, then switched to an app called Text Now, before transitioning to Snapchat. And as time passed, investigators say the messaging turned more personal and sexual at times, sending pictures and video chatting.
Once that bond is developed and it seems that the child is comfortable with communication and willing to communicate, then the offender can take it down any number of roads. And in this case, you have a child who repeatedly disclosed her age.
Karabov credits the girl's mother for checking her daughter's messages and turning them over to police, but doesn't advise parents to allow their children to sell things online.
Any number of bad things could happen, from being financially taken advantage of to giving out too much private information to being solicited by an adult. And so we'd certainly encourage parents not to let their kids engage in certain activities that they're just not ready for the potential consequences.
And with the days of kids flipping through a JCPenney or Sears catalog being a thing of the past, Karabov wants parents to keep an eye out on where their kids go looking for presents online this holiday season. Now, when it comes to shopping online, Karabov put it like this: if you wouldn't feel comfortable with your child negotiating a deal with someone in person, then you shouldn't allow them to do it online either. Scott?
Chase, good advice. Thanks so much. Tonight, an IMPD officer is recovering after a police chase ended with a crash on the near north side of Indianapolis. Tonight, investigators are telling us 4 suspects in the car were also taken to the hospital to get checked out. All of this started around 3 this afternoon after police responded to a report of gunfire. Now, when police say they found the car they thought was involved, there was a brief chase. Police say they discovered the car had been stolen earlier in the day during an armed carjacking. Now, according to IMPD, the driver crashed the stolen car into a SWAT officer's SUV near 30th and Fall Creek. Police say they found a gun at that scene. And now to Tippecanoe County tonight, where state police are now investigating an exchange of gunfire between a couple of cars on I-65. Tonight, troopers say this happened around 6 o'clock just north of the State Road 43 exit. Investigators say someone in a Kia fired at least 1 gunshot toward a Nissan. Then police believe someone in the Nissan returned fire. No one reported any injuries tonight. And we've got a warning tonight for drivers here in Indy. Lane restrictions are taking place this week along 465. So according to INDOT, there will be single left lane closures on 465 eastbound and westbound from Man Road to US 31 now through Friday. These closures are expected to take place between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon while crews are working on new pavement markings and remove a temporary barrier wall. Tonight, we're seeing how the neighborhood infrastructure program is making a difference here in our city as more funding is announced. Let me tell you how it works. The city essentially agrees to split the bill for community projects. So just identify the problem, start raising money to fix it, then submit an application to the city explaining the need. Take Oaks Academy Middle School as an example. The CEO told us tonight they've got new sidewalks and curbs. He told us that would have actually cost them more than 60 grand, but it ended up only being $28,000.
For organizations like the Oaks and other nonprofits and other neighborhood associations, this is a great opportunity to partner with the city to improve our infrastructure.
So the new round of applications is opening up on Friday. It will close in February. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, a man is under arrest linked to a shooting outside of a nightclub on the east side of Indianapolis. Officers issued a warrant for 18-year-old Dominic Collins' arrest just days after the shooting, but they didn't arrest him until yesterday. A man was injured in that shooting back in November outside Brad's Brass Flamingo near Prospect and South Grant Avenue. We've just learned the name of the man who was shot and killed last night. This was a story that we first brought you as breaking news last night at 11. The coroner tonight now confirms 26-year-old Walter Lockhart Jr. died at an apartment building near Washington and Euclid. A woman was critically injured. Police believe an argument led to the gunfire. Officers told 13 News at the scene they had detained 3 people. The trial is now underway for a Southern Indiana child care provider accused in the death of an infant in her care. The 6-month-old died from a head injury more than 2 years ago at an unlicensed facility in Jeffersonville. Now, Brittany Baylor faces multiple charges. The trial is expected to last 2 weeks. A big change coming to Grand Park in Westfield. It'll soon be under new management. The City Council approved that move last night. Now, starting January 1st, Grand Park Sports and Entertainment will operate the sports campus. It's a partnership between Indy Sports and Entertainment, which owns the Indy 11, and Bullpen Ventures. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app. Tonight, the man who's charged with the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO is fighting extradition to New York.
And is completely out of touch and is an insult to the intelligence of the American people and to lived experience.
That's 26-year-old Luigi Mangione with that outburst outside a court in Pennsylvania. He appeared today before a judge and was denied bail. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed in New York City last Wednesday. His murder led to a manhunt that ended in Altoona, Pennsylvania. That's where Mangione was arrested at a McDonald's. He was spotted there by an employee and a customer. Right now, Mangione is facing charges both in Pennsylvania and in New York. But the district attorney in Blair County, Pennsylvania says those counts in New York take precedence, and they'll do whatever's necessary to get Mangione back to Manhattan.
Contesting it, just provides more hoops for law enforcement and prosecutors to jump through, but we're happy to do that.
And we're also hearing tonight from Mangione's defense attorney.
This is not just a small thing. The fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I've seen zero evidence at this point.
Police tonight say Mangione had the gun and a silencer that were similar to the ones used in that attack, as well as a fake ID. Right now, police are working to figure out how Mangione got from Manhattan to Altoona and how long he had been there. For now, Mangione will remain in custody in Pennsylvania.